Alrighty, we got this Toro, this is Power Max 828, so it's an 8 horse, 28 inch snowblower. I know it's got spark, the fuel just smells horrendous. I know fuel stinks, but bad fuel's got its definite own smell. This primer isn't working. You try and push it, nothing's happening. The way it works is your float bowl, this primer pushes air into the float bowl, causes fuel to squirt up through the base of it. So there's something wrong there, and the best thing to do is drain the fuel out of it, clean the carb. So take the carb off, service it, change the oil, put a new spark plug in it. So we're going to take this tin shroud off. I don't know what the hell this is, beer holder. Anyway, on these you got a bolt there on this cover, bolt here, and I think that's it. Anyway, so we're going to get this cover off. We're going to have a look at the carb. We'll have to pull these off, these handles. There, that pulls off. This one I'll just stick a screwdriver in behind, pop it off. So I'm just going to get something, put this camera on, up a little higher. We'll go at it. You can see there's a cement floor in the garage. So we've got a ceiling in it now. It's insulated, drywalled. The walls are next. I've got a heater. Hoping to start on the insulation of the walls this week. Anyway, give me a second, we'll get this set up and we'll get out. Alright, so not sure how well you're going to be able to see. Sorry about that. Gotta get more lights up here. I've got some 3 more 8-foot LED lights. Right now there's only 3 4-foot LED lights, and I'm going to put a total of 6 more 8-foot LED lights up there. All takes time. So I already pried the choke lever off. Okay. Okay, right through here I forgot because we got this, whatever it is. There's 2 screws in behind here. I know somebody's done that for putting a drink in, I'd say. And I can see some pretty crude holes there, so. I'm not going to have you watch that, it'll be a bit too painful. I'll bring you back when I get it off. Okay, so there's the 2 screws. I just put them back in so you can see where they are when you want to access the carb. This cover just flops down. There's a plug in here for this kill switch. It's all wrapped around the primer hose. So for now I'm just going to leave it dangling down. This is your kill switch. When you pull this out, it turns it off. But there's also a kill switch on this piece right here. So here's the primer hose. Okay, so I'm not sure where it's getting pinched off, but something's wacky with that. Anyway, so here's your carburetor right here. I've got 2 Phillips head screws here, or you can undo it here at the intake. I don't like pulling it off there, usually the gasket winds up breaking. Here, if you undo it here, it doesn't break. There's a fuel line on it. This has got a preset jet in the bottom, some of a adjustable jet right down here. I'm going to get a wrench, spin this out, and drain the fuel out of it. Alright, so when I get up on the bench, I'll get back to you. So back again, sorry about that. There's the primer. The end of this hole, for whatever reason, was plugged. Just going to set you there. So I'm just going to plug it back onto there. These primers, sorry about the lighting, you get 2 dowels, 2 plastic pins. It snaps in. I just wiggled it out now to come. There's the end of the hose. There's coming out. That's a good sign. So back to getting this off, and I'll get back to you. Alright, the carb's off. We're just going to take and dump the fuel into here. Look at the color of that. You always want to use stabilizer. There's some stabilizers that are no good. Anyway, I don't know whether they use stabilizer or not. That's really yellow. Like, I mean, fuel shouldn't look like that. Good enough, that's got the worst of it out. So right now on the bottom here, this is a screw-in jet. I've already loosened it off. Obviously not enough. Spin it out and tip the carb up flat. I want to see if there's any water or ink in there. So no water. If there was water, there would be like a little, it would look like air bubbles. Just really rancid looking fuel. Sometimes you'll wind up with a bunch of crud down in here. This is really clean. You got to be careful of this float bowl gasket. It's in good shape. A lot of times it'll crack or fall apart. We'll just pull the float out, have a quick look at the needle and seat. I'll just give the exterior a quick bath. And anyway, let's get this camera sitting down here again. Sorry for the shaky cam. Never have what I need. Just gonna tap it, get this pin to come out. Just pop this gasket off. Just pull that little pin right out there. Set it down there. Needle valve fell out, it's nice and clean. Down the very bottom there, there's a rubber O-ring. You can buy them wherever they sell Tecumseh parts. So all I'm going to do is spray this outside with a brake clean, blow it off with the air hose, and reassemble it. Pop off that piece of fuel line. Should while we're in here, give me a minute. I'm going to find an Allen key. We're going to take this off and I want to show you something else, okay? Okay, so I fished it out. Both rubber O-rings are on it. Like I say, make sure that's clean. These here, really vital and important. There's a hole right in the side. These are just welding tip cleaners. Just start it through. Yep, that hole's clear. There's a hole right there. Go right through, that's good. And down through the center, there's another hole. So they're all clean. I'll blow it out. Right down in here is a low speed jet. Some of them have them, some of them don't. So I'll pull this off and clean it out. Same idea. Alright. Okay, change of plans. I'm gonna get and finish stripping this down and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner just to clean, just in case It's for family and want to make sure it's done right. So I was telling you there's a rubber seat in there for the needle valve for the float. This stops the fuel. What I do is put the air hose here, cut my hand over it here, blow air in, and pops it out. I'll probably go get a new one for it tomorrow. This goofy little plastic cap, where are you? There we are. It was over the low speed jet. This bracket was like this. I just unbolted to get at it. Alright. Not sure anyway if you've seen it, but anyway, the rubber was down in there. Put your air hose onto here, cover it over with your hand, blow in with the air gun, and it'll pop it right out. So this jet here, the low speed jet, I always take and turn them in and count the turns. Okay, this one's prefixed, it goes in so far, that's it. This one's like the bottom jet. There it is. And this is super important to be clean as well. There's a hole in the side and there'll be a hole down on the top. So get the welding tip cleaners again. Make sure it's good. And it's going right down through past them. That's clean through there. So you definitely want to take this out. Sorry. And the little rubber seat, because if you're going to put it in ultrasonic cleaner, it'll just destroy those. So now it's all stripped down. I'm going to put it in the cleaner and clean it. Tomorrow I'll get the parts. I'll throw this in to get rid of some of, I guess I can just wipe it off. Anyway, it only takes a few minutes. Put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, clean it, be nice and clean, then I don't need to worry that there's some debris in there. Anyway, I'll do that, and when I'm ready to assemble the carburetor again, I'll bring you along. Thanks. Okay, back again. It's the next day. I got myself a, oh yeah, sitting under the camera, Tecumseh rebuild carb kit. There's your washer for underneath the jet. Needle and seat and main float bowl gasket. So we'll just go through putting this together. Just open up the package here. So now I'm going to put in this new seat. Glasses here, sorry. So it drops down in there. I like to use a drill bit to push it down in. It's about the same size as it. You got to be careful, make sure it goes down square. So get it started over like that. Just take this and gently work it down. Perfect, seated down in there. Then I'll take the new needle. Got a spring here that it hooks onto. And it just, that spring holds it on, holds it onto the float. There we go. I'll drop that, hopefully you can see this. I'm going to drop the needle down into there. It's down in. I'll put my pin back in. Okay, I put my new float bowl gasket on. It's always a good idea to have some of these kicking around. If you open up, the kits are really cheap. A lot of times with the ethanol and the fuel, it just destroys these gaskets. Best just to replace them anyway. I mean, if you didn't have one and you need to use it, you can make it work great. So now again, this is the jet going down through it. I made sure it's all cleaned out. Same thing, I'll lower it down in. I'll push it down nice and gentle. The drill bit. You won't be able to see, but anyway, if you take one apart, it pops up on the inside. I can see it's in there correctly. Kind of set this back on. I like to have this flat part. The hinge part is right there of the float. I like to have the shallowest part back there. So now the jet, we went over cleaning it. I'm going to pull this old gasket off. Put the new gasket on. Don't have a socket for it right here. So now I'll tighten that up in a minute. Now this is where the idle jet went down in. We'll put it back in and it just winds in. Make sure, like I say, we went through that yesterday, make sure it's wound in and tight. Or, sorry, make sure it's cleared out. Putting their little cap back on it. Now this piece, we'll screw it back on. Checking the bolts, don't remember which ones come out of it. So yeah, it's these little guys. Sorry, no, my hands are in the way. It's just basic parts of, you know, just putting them back together. I'll just start these. Find my socket in a minute. This is the choke flap. I took it off to get access. That just goes up through there. Two screws through the face, Allen key style. That's the worst of it, just shoved together. I'm going to finish tightening everything up off camera. I'm sure you don't want to watch any more of that. Alright, hopefully I didn't go too far out of frame. Be back in a minute. Alright, so the battery is pretty much dead on my camera, so I just put it back together. Everything's just reversed to what it was. Changed the oil off camera, put a new plug in, pulled the cover, checked the belch. Should always do that. We got fresh gas in it. Fuel get throttle. And there you go, first pull away she went. Anyway, just a quick little video, well not really quick, but a little bit of showing somebody how to repair the carburetor. Hope you enjoyed it, take care.